What's up, everybody? Welcome to Boot Wizard with me, James, and you'll notice joined by the ever lovely Mark from GCFC Training, who's come back to join me on the channel again for more punishment. How you doing, Mark?
I'm good. I still remember that comment from that last person saying I had too much energy last time. So instead of drinking one coffee, I had three today. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
Nice. Keep that energy up. Keep it up, despite people commenting against it. What we're doing today is we have set up the Ultimate 2024 Football Boot Tournament, and I am going to show you the bracket right now. So you'll see who is going up against who. So you should now be looking at our lovely bracket, and we have all of these boots going head to head. Mark and I are going to decide which boot goes through until we have an ultimate winner for this particular for 2024.
Can we
Mark,
just get it out of the way? Can we just like get Lotto off this list and move Skechers to the next round?
you know what? And so the I love that you've done that. So this is the Lotto Solista 200, which if anybody's watched my channel, you know is a boot that I quite enjoy. I think this is quite a nice football boot, but up against the Skechers Razor, Mark makes an excellent point. So hey, look, I've even got look. Here we go. I can actually move it. Yay! Hold on. Look at that. Look at that technology, ladies and gentlemen.
Incredible.
So the Solista is out. It is gone. It is no more. And
They're like in the Confederations Cup when Tahiti made it that one year and they got smacked around. Just get them out. They don't deserve to be there.
Oh dear, this is me with my soft spot for Lotto, just shoehorning them in there, and Mark immediately being like, "No, no fun for you."
We're not doing that today. I've had enough.
Okay, Skechers Razor is through. What about Predator Elite versus the Tiempo Legend 10?
Yeah,
Now,
we're already having a loser off, in my opinion.
because I know you don't like the Predator.
No, but I understand. I think I'm like the only one that doesn't like it, and I know I joke around about it, but I know a lot of people like them. Um, Anything can go up against the Tiempo 10. I think the Solista would go through over the Tiempo 10. But no, I'm just kidding. I think all of us agree that the Predator is probably the better shoe, and I think we could just leave it at that. The switch to synthetic leather was not good for the Tiempo for Nike. They might change it with the Legend of 11 or whenever that comes out. But as for right now, that it wasn't a good switch, and definitely Predator.
I think you have absolutely nailed that, to be honest. And yeah, the Predator has to go through. I'm one of the people that I don't dislike the Tiempo Legend 10, but it is a little bit of I suppose a little bit of an insult to the Tiempo name by simply
Yeah,
going to this synthetic. It's generally not liked, so I don't think that can let's just get rid of it. So moving on, we have the Tekela V4 Plus Pro, which is here, versus the Copa Pure 2. So this isn't the two. This isn't the plus. It's just the regular Copa Pure 2. And for me, there's literally no argument here. This is in boot of the year conversation for me. I love this boot, and the Copa just isn't. What are your thoughts?
I agree. I think the Tekela has it. I think that's probably one of the most underrated shoes of the year. That
Right?
with the Under Armour Shadow, and I yeah, one
Oh, you've
hundred
just
percent
made a
agree.
lot of people very happy with that
Yeah,
shadow shout, haven't you?
yeah. I bet you when they make the Copa Pure 3, whenever that comes out again, I think that they're going to have some improvements, especially in the heel area, and maybe we could talk about it again. But for right now, definitely Tekela.
Yeah, this, like I say, for me, so this was literally my boot of the year shout, but I made that shout in like February. I did change my mind recently to a different boot that I've tried, but this is still going to feature on my my end of year awards, shall we say? That's another easy one. See, these early rounds are easy.
Yeah,
He
you just get
says,
through really quick.
He says, as we
Now,
arrive at F50 Elite versus Sokito Scudetta.
hey, I'm
This
just
is a
saying,
tough one.
there's a conversation to be had here. You know, I think that we've obviously both of us have tried both of them. Um,
Yeah.
the F50 for me, I think the sole plate is a bit too stiff. But also my feet are like, like baby feet, and they, anything can hurt them. Um, the thing with the F50 though, and maybe it shouldn't factor into the decision, but some of the colorways that they've released for them have been some of the best this year. And it's like I was messaging you. It's like, yeah, they might hurt my feet, but it's like the old school Mercs. Like, you're gonna get like a lot of blisters and your feet are gonna be hurting forever, but you can't help but wear them because they look so good, you know?
Yeah,
That being
they are a
said,
beautiful boot.
yeah, that being said, I think the Sokito, their first drop this year has been amazing. I think they messed up with the sizing a little bit, but
A
I'll
little bit.
forgive them because the shoe was just so good. I don't know. I'm this one. I go back and forth on it, but honestly, like I might say Sokito. What do you think?
So I am like as much. So I saw this bracket before you did because I made it. So I obviously it was it was a random draw, and the only rule was that the same brand couldn't go head to head in the first round. And I saw this come up. I'm like, okay, this is pretty tough. But for me, I thought about it for a few minutes, and it's actually comes down to a fairly easy pick. I think it's the Sokito.
Yeah.
I think the Scudetta is the better boot.
Hey, nothing against
The
the F50s. I think the F50s are
no,
actually really, really good this year. But whatever
yeah,
Sokito did this year, just like, yeah, this is like two first round picks going against each other. I feel like,
that's exactly it. It's two
yeah,
top seeds going against
yeah,
each other in the first round.
yeah.
But I agree. I think the Sokito is the winner here. I love that we agree on that. I wasn't sure if we were going to come to blows on that one or
Yeah.
not. But yeah, we're in. Okay, so F50s gone.
How dare? Why
Let's.
would you disrespect him like that? Come on, man. This was
I may.
this was this went to extra time and it went to penalties, and you're acting like they lost 5-0. What are you doing?
I'm treating them like a Solista.
Yes. No, dude. You set that thing down on like a piece of cloth and made sure there was no dust.
Let's move across to the other side of the draw, which I think this is a fairly straightforward one. I don't think there's
Mhm.
really much to be said here. This is the Skechers SKX, which is not a boot that I personally love, up against the Messi F50, which I think is the better of the two F50 options. And for me, this is an easy, clear win for the Messi F50.
I think so too, but they almost ruined it with this Bad Bunny colorway because that is the most
What are you talking
disgusting thing
about?
I
This
think
is
I've ever seen
glorious.
in my life.
I love this thing.
That is
I'm so
disgusting. That is
I'm not even kidding.
disgusting.
I love this. I
No,
love this
I'm
so
sorry,
much.
but it looks like I mean, if I wanted to wear a dress shoe on the field, I would just wear a dress shoe. You know, it's a dress shoe with
I
studs. Like it might
I
be
adore
comfortable, it
this.
might work, but like, dude, I would never wear that thing in my life. It's horrible.
The details on this are incredible. All the little extra details, the extra design elements they've got into this
Yeah,
make this genuinely. I so I'm going to enrage a lot of people because I know this is a very divisive boot, but I'm 100% putting this in my best looking boots of the year category.
hey,
It's
to
going in
each
that
their own.
conversation. It's
To
happening.
each their own. I think that
Okay.
if we're talking for real though, I think that hybrid touch material that they put on these
Oh,
messy ones are phenomenal.
it's just next level.
Yeah, and that's gonna be tough. Like if that would have went up against the Sokito, I think that there would be more of a conversation to be had with that.
We
But
might get there yet.
um,
That might be the final. We don't
yeah,
know. Like they
yeah,
both might make it.
we'll see. No, we'll see, we'll see.
But for now, the F50 Messi goes through, and we go to the next one, which again I think is a real easy
Yeah,
decision. This is Future 7 Ultimate, which might be my most disliked boot of the year for a top end football boot, versus the Vapor 16 Elite, which I like. I haven't grown to adore it, but I think it's a good football boot. I don't think there's really much of a competition here. I think the Vapor
yeah.
takes it.
I think so too.
Yeah,
Yeah. What's weird
nice.
about the future is a lot of people and boot reviewers really really hate that shoe, but whenever I'm training with some of my friends and I've seen a lot of people wearing that shoe, they love it. They think it's like one of the best shoes they've ever worn, which is super weird to me. But I think it's when you try all these different shoes on, you get a better understanding of it. But and
Good
on the
point.
contrary, to the F50s having the best colorways, I think the Futures have the worst colorways. and
That,
that's all I'm going to say about the Futures. Definitely, Vapor 16 is a really good shoe. Personally, I like the 15 better.
okay.
But the Vapor 16 is still a solid shoe. It's very comfortable. Definitely going through.
Yeah, I think comfort is the word for this. This is a very,
Sure.
very
Yeah.
comfortable
It's not even a
football
speed
boot.
boot anymore. It's it's like borderline control boot now, in my
It's getting
opinion.
there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Grip knit, comfort,
Yeah.
wider fit. Like, ooh, there's
Yeah.
a shout.
Hey,
Okay,
that's a video right there. I'm giving away video ideas for free, man.
sorry, they're not. They're not. You're not giving them away. You're just gonna have to come back on the channel and talk
Yeah.
about them with me.
Discuss it.
Like,
I only
discuss.
have about 6 different colorways in them.
Okay, next up we have I think a reasonably difficult one, but I know where I would go. But we have the Puma Ultra Ultimate against the Furon V7 Plus Pro. So this is like a big speed boot battle early on, and it really could go either way for me. I have this Furon. This is actually the Takedown Destroy that I got recently. You have the lime glow ones, don't you? Those green ones. They're beautiful.
Yeah, right here.
Oh, there they are. Oh, that's such a lovely colorway.
I love it. Yeah. I wish I unfortunately, and I'm not trying to flex, but I have too many shoes to wear and I just have not gotten around to wearing them yet. I'm sorry. I wore them once and I liked them. I didn't get any blisters or anything like that. I know that's a concern, but I really like them. Look, hey, for me, this is an easy decision. And I think you know where I'm going to go. I liked one variation of the Ultra. I've hated every single. I've hated all the other ones. So, Furon definitely for me. But I'll let you discuss it because I know some people like the Ultra, especially the carbon ones. But
Yeah,
easy
so
for me is the Furon.
so this is definitely the ultimate, not the carbon. I didn't put the carbon into here because it's such a unique individual
Sure.
boot.
Yeah.
I am personally a big fan of the current Ultra Ultimate. The previous one I thought was an absolute pile of crap, but the current Ultra Ultimate I think is a really fantastic boot, particularly if you are looking for a real genuine speed boot feeling, because you don't necessarily get that from the F50 Elite because of the stud pattern not being super aggressive. You don't necessarily get it from the Vapor anymore, despite having the stud pattern. It's got this kind of wider fit, maybe this slightly different touch with the texture. The Ultra Ultimate feels like a real genuine speed boot to me. I really, really like it. And I think if it was up against anything else, I would argue harder for it to go through, because if you were to ask me to pick between the two, I would pick the Ultra. But because I like the Furon V7 Plus Pro so much, and you also don't like the Ultra, I think a fair compromise here is to put the Furon through, because I just think that balances everything. I really like
Yeah.
both. You really don't like the Ultra, so I think putting the Furon through it's not a bad thing to do. I think we're okay with
Yeah.
that. Nice. Okay, Furon goes through. Let's get some graphics in there. Hold on, forward. There we go. Look at this. I'm enjoying this. And next up, we have one where I know where you're going to go with this,
Oh
so I'm
yeah.
just going to let you go early.
Yeah.
King Ultimate versus Phantom GX2 / Luna 2. What are your thoughts, Mark?
So the King is going in the right direction. I think that they made a lot of improvements on this one, but Phantom GX2 is my boot of the year. And I don't think there's
Oh,
anything that's going to come out in the next 2 months that's going to change my decision.
okay.
Um, Phantom that's like me supporting Manchester United right now. Hands down. I will go to war for this shoe. Like it's just one of my favorite shoes. I know a lot of people have concerns with the sole plate on it, especially the FG one. I
Yeah.
I don't have any problems with this shoe. It fits me perfectly. My feet don't hurt. I actually like how flexible the sole is. For some reason it just works for my foot and how I got like freaking plantar fasciitis and all that stuff. Like I
Mhm.
don't know why it works for me though. Perfect shoe. Probably almost a perfect shoe for me. I would say. hands down, it's got to go through. I mean, if you even hint at the king going through, I'm ending this live stream. I'm leaving right now. So
Okay, so I'll
I
save
don't want to
you
hear
have.
it. Just put it in the next tier. What else is there to say about this?
Okay, I'm gonna do this, and before I say anything else, so that I
Thank you.
can, so that you don't lose your mind, and we don't end this after one round, because I do agree that in this instance the GX2 does go through, and I do think that the king is moving in the right direction. This is, for anybody who thinks this looks weird, this is the HG variation, so it has a floating tongue and the HG outsole, so it's slightly different, but it is still the king ultimate. I do like the king. I like the current king, but I'm not with you as far as like boot of the year, but I think this is a great football boot. I think the upper is fantastic. I don't love how flexible the outsole is, but it's not the end of the world. It's not like it bends in half. It's just a little bit overly flexible, to be honest. But yeah, I think this is a fantastic football boot and fully deserves to go through. So let's move along, because we know how much you love that boot.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say too, I know that I'm hyping this shoe up to no end right now, but at the end of the day, everybody's foot is different. Everybody has certain preferences that they like. For me, you can argue with me, but for the Phantom, the Phantom GX2 fits me perfectly. And I'm sure that there are shoes that fit you perfectly, whoever's watching. And that's fine with you. I know a lot of people think the Predator is the boot of the year, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, the GX2 is just a perfect shoe for me.
What's with all that like kind of rational thought there, Mark, for a second? We're here for hot takes and screaming down the camera. Like, stop being
because
rational
I don't want
and reasonable.
Justin going on my DMs and lighting me up again. It doesn't feel good. And I'm scared of him too, so I just agree with him after a while.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, let's move on to the next round, which is the quarterfinals. And the first round, we've got Predator Elite FT going up against the Skechers Razor. I think they're both great boots, but for me, this might change depending on what you think or what you say. But for me, the Predator is the winner here.
Predator, absolutely. Yeah. Predator? I still hate that shoe, but yeah, Predator. Just by general consensus, because everybody likes this for some reason.
You know what? I think it's a fair thing for this, at least, to take into account general consensus at least a little bit.
Yeah. No, you have
and
to.
kind of what people
I think I'm the only one in this world that hates this shoe. Like, I'm not talking about like slightly dislikes. Like, I hate this shoe. I think they suck. I think the colorway sucks. I think we got nostalgia baited with the stupid tongue. So that one was pretty cool. I got to give it that. That's a cool looking shoe. For like the 30th anniversary ones.
Yeah.
At
least this came in a cool box. No more praise.
But at least it's gone through. The stupid Jude Bellingham ones, I almost threw my phone when I saw. I'm so tired of blackout shoes, black and gold. Make it white and gold. Like, that would have been so much cooler,
I don't disagree one bit. I actually didn't bring them, but I do have the Bellingham shoes here. But I didn't want to invoke your rage any further, so I decided to bring the 30s instead.
Dude, Bellingham has aura. He has a lot of aura, right? And then they give him this shoe. Like, if I was him, if I was his team, I'd be like, nah, like, go back. Like, you gotta like make this thing like, sparkling or like, white and something flashy, because he's like one of the, I don't want to say he's the best player in the world, but as far as like marketability, you would think that they would want to go like all out for a shoe for him,
It does feel like just swapping to a white base would have made a big difference.
It would have
just.
I would have bought better. That. Yeah. I hate the Predator. I would have bought that shoe. If it was a white and gold, and I know that they did that already, but you could still make it different, and especially with like gold already too. Stuff. Yeah, but
yeah,
hey, I don't know. Look, I maybe there's a reason I'm not a graphic designer for Adidas or something, but yeah, that was a bad decision by them.
I agree. I would have definitely gone a different route. I made a whole video on why those boots aren't selling. So, if anybody wants to check that out, please do.
Is that okay. The belly flop?
Belly flop. I was so proud. I was so proud of myself. I'm not going to lie.
You must have been like you were sitting in bed at like 2 a.m. in the morning and you were just like, ding, you had to get up and make that real quick.
Yeah, I was like, belly flop. That is genius. I am the smartest man alive.
Yeah, incredible. Incredible work by you.
Thank you. I will accept that praise. The next quarter final is going to be two boots that are definitely in contention for my boot of the year,
Yeah.
which is the Tekela V4 Plus Pro and the Sokito Scudetta. This could go either way for me. What are
Yeah.
you thinking?
I I I don't know. I want to say Sokito again because that, I mean, dude, that first shoe that they dropped is like is absolutely incredible. Um that's a tough one. Yeah, that's a really tough one. I think I'm gonna say Sokito, but I mean it's just barely. Like this is like a goal in the 91st minute with 3 minutes of stoppage time. 1-0. Like it's so close.
Yeah. Okay, here's where I'm at with this. I think maybe me personally, I might go for the Tekela, but
Mhm.
if we're trying to be a bit more objective, I think there's kind of no question that I think the Sokito is actually a better football boot.
Yeah.
I think there's just more to it. That upper is unbelievable. So yeah, I think the Sokito has to go through.
It's
Like
hard
which
too because like you want to, when it's like a shoe against a shoe, you want to look at other things like the colorways that they've released for
Mhm.
it, or the previous history of it. Sokito has no other colorways. Well, now they do, but
Yeah,
they
just
have no
this.
history. So it's literally just one shoe. But I think this one shoe is just so good. Like, and I, if you're watching, I highly, highly encourage you to try it. They just released that all white colorway, and I love white shoes, so I'm definitely gonna get those. It's just so comfortable. It's so good, and that upper material, they absolutely nailed it.
It's so special. That synthetic 4 foot upper material is
Yeah,
so special. Yes, if you only try one new boot this year, it should probably be the Scudetta.
or
But yeah,
The
so
Phantom
all
GX2.
the fancy GX. And so I am going to dispose of the Tekela, but very gently because I feel bad for it, but it's got to go.
Yeah.
Okay, up in this is huge. We've got the big Adidas versus
Ooh.
Nike face-off here. The speed boots. We've got F50 Messi
Yeah.
versus Vapor 16 Elite. For me here, as much as this is a huge face-off, the two big brands, the two big speed boots head to head. For me, this is a really easy decision, and it goes to the F50 Messi.
Uh, uh, let me think about this real quick. So I personally, and I know it's not down to personal, whatever, but
Well, it is a little bit like that's why it's
yeah,
me and
maybe a
you here.
little.
It's definitely personal's got to play into this a fair bit.
Yeah. I would say personally the Vapor 16 Elite, but I also understand that there's a conversation to be had. I think that they are, I don't know. Let me take a halftime break and think about this real quick because
I tell
I'm
you
kind of
what.
stuck on this one.
Let's move on to the next one, and we'll come back. So you can think while we talk
Well,
about
I'm going to
the
say Phantom, like this one's easy for me. I'm definitely going to say Phantom
right
GX2.
here we go. I've got a trade off for you. I kind of want to pick the Furon here, but I am happy to let through the Phantom GX without argument if we can put through the Messi versus the Vapor.
So we're playing politics here, huh?
I've gone full politics. Hey,
Why?
you've got an election in like 2 days, so like
this this list
I'm
this is corrupt.
the mail-in ballots have been sent,
Yeah,
and I'm reaching across the aisle. I'm trying to come to a compromise here.
this is absolute corruption. You know what? I'll take the deal though. I'll
He's
take the
taking it.
deal.
He's
Yeah,
taking the
I'll
deal.
take the deal.
There we go. Messi goes through. The problem we're going to have now, though, you know what problem we're going to have now, is that we literally have a situation where the boot that I've just advocated for and the boot that you've just advocated for are literally up against
Yeah.
each other in the semi-final. Let's
Okay.
do the other
You
semi-final first.
No,
Let's
no,
do
no,
the other
no.
one
Let's
first.
just get to
No?
it. Like, let's just get
Okay.
to it. Let's get it out of the way because this is gonna be like half the video right here, I think. Look, okay.
Okay.
I understand that the Phantom GX2 is not for everyone. It is a wider fit shoe. I just, dude. Okay, I know we brought. I'm mad. Okay, I have so many thoughts in my head, and I just want to scream at you right now. But I gotta maintain some sort of professionalism.
No, you
So
don't. Like, who,
the
who told you that?
the Messi shoes, the colorways have been absolutely horrible, and that's got to factor in.
What?
Absolutely has to factor in.
What?
The white and purple ones, I'll give it to that one is okay. You know, Bad Bunny colorway sucks. The first one that they released sucks. GX2, yeah, maybe they've had one or two bad colorways, especially that gray one. That gray one sucked.
Oh, that did
But for the
suck.
most part, they've been really good. Now, I think this grip knit material that they put on here, I think this is a revolutionary it's revolutionary technology. I think this is going to stay for a very long time. I
I
think
agree.
that the hybrid touch is as well, dude. This is very close. Look, I want to yell at you, but I also understand that this is a very close debate. The hybrid touch material that they have on the Messi shoe, again, I think is for that sort of speed boot. While not so much revolutionary because it's kind of been done before, you know, and they
It's
were kind of the
literally been
first
done
ones.
before, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, with like with the older the Audi Zero ones
Hmm.
to bring it back in a way that they did it, and it is a very good shoe. I don't know, man.
I've
Look,
caused you to
I
have an
want to
existential
advocate for
crisis. I can see this.
yeah, I want to advocate for the GX2, but I think for you and I think a lot of people watching would probably say the Messi one. So I don't know. GX2 is
It
still
is
boot of the year for me. I think that it's I don't know. I don't know.
I think Noah Kavanagh might definitely be in a similar boat to you in terms of like putting the GX2 up in like a boot of the year kind of category.
Yeah.
And I am a big fan of it. I really am. Like I don't want it to seem like I don't like that football boot. I think that is a really good football boot. I think the upper material, you're 100% right. Grip knit from the previous GX and now improved exponentially
Yeah.
on this. This is a very, very good football boot. It's super
And
comfortable.
you
It's
know,
a great boot. It's a great boot.
the thing too, like this is an old pair. Like I've worn the heck out of these, and the material is still like it's still grippy even after all
Yeah.
this time. You know, and that's something that has to factor into at least boot of the year decisioning for me. But
Has it
like
lasted the year?
durability wise, I think that shoe is really really good. Um, if this was
This is,
my own list,
yeah.
I mean, GX2 would have won. I mean, I wouldn't even made the list. I would have just said GX2 would have won. But I know a lot of people like the Messi one. So yeah, public opinion. I think it's probably at 50, and it hurts me to say. Can you sense I'm like really disappointed right now?
Mark's just lost. You know all that energy you had at the beginning,
Yeah,
where
just
like people are like, "Oh, you have too much energy." It's all just gone. It's like someone just sucked
yeah.
the air out of the room,
I'm
where you're
just
just like,
sad. Yeah,
"Ah."
I'm just sad now.
Yeah, I honestly, I think they're both great boots. I definitely pick the Messi F50 over it, because, like I say, the Messi F50 is in my conversation for boot of the year. The
Yeah,
GX maybe goes top 5, 6. It's still very good, but yeah, the Messi is like top 1, 2 for me.
yeah.
So I would have to pick the Messi. Let us know down in the comments. Obviously, while you're in that general area, subscribe, like the video, go over, check out Mark's channel at GCFC Training. But let us
Thanks
know
for
down in
the
the
shout out,
comments
brother.
yeah, I got you. Like, let us know what you would have picked. Would you have gone Messi? Would you have gone GX? We're going to go Messi and move on. Otherwise, this video is going to be 100 hours long while we discuss that one interaction between those two boots. And we're going to come on to the other semi-final, which I think is actually a much easier choice, which is Predator versus Sokito. And despite thinking the Predator is a great boot, I don't think there's any question in my mind that the Sokito takes the win.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you were gonna lean towards Predator on this one.
Absolutely
I
not.
didn't. Yeah, I thought that there was gonna be more of a conversation on this one, but yeah, Sokito, dude, that shoe is so good. Again,
So
anybody that's
good.
watching this, like, go give that shoe a try. It is about $30 less than most retail boots, most of the top brands. They're great people as well that really
They
do
are.
care about the product. And I think with some cool colorways that come out, if they do release some of them, especially like the Nigeria colorway, the AFCON one, if they start releasing more colorways that are like, like the neons and the bright stuff, I really think that they're going to gain a lot of traction. um
I agree.
I
I think
think,
they've done the right thing with the launch colorway, then doing blackout, whiteout, because they're things that
yeah,
everybody wants. But the next thing they need to do is something that just like grabs people's attention. That's like,
sure,
okay, I need to go out and
yeah,
get that boot in that color to really stamp their authority. But in terms of the actual boot, they're €200, £175. If you get them direct from Sokito, you can get an extra €20 off that price if you recycle an old pair of
yeah,
boots, which I love. So you send them an old, it doesn't matter. These boots could be destroyed. You send them those boots, they will give you discount off the new boots. So you can pick them up at €20 less. And the launch colorway is currently 20% off at Unisport, which means that around €170, which is the same price as a Phantom Luna Pro, so the takedown model of the Nike Phantom Luna, you can get a top end boot, which Mark and I both think is good enough to literally be in the final of
yeah.
our video for boot
And
of
it's
the
not
year.
it's not just us. I don't know if some of you guys watch me, you guys don't know who I am, so maybe you don't respect my decisioning with it. But if
Mark,
you
everybody
could
knows
put
who you are.
you could put anybody in these seats, and I think that they would, if they've tried this shoe, I think that they would put this very high on the list for sure.
I agree. No question. I think this would be right up there for anybody I know, anybody we know that like is into boots, that reviews boots. The Sokito is going to be probably in this position. It probably
Yeah,
makes it to the final. Like, so speaking of the final, we now have Sokito versus Messi.
this is a
And
good
I
one.
kind of feel
Yeah,
like I think this is, for me, this is like a perfect final. I think this
yeah,
is exactly what I would have chosen if you'd have just asked me of all those boots, what are your favorite two? I think this is what I would have put
yeah.
in the final.
I think
Um,
what Adidas needs to do is they need to just push their weight around and just absolutely copy this design, make it exactly the same, and slap an Adidas logo on it, and it would be probably the best shoe they've ever made. You know, um, I'll let you go first. I want to see what you have to say because I know you like these Messies a lot, so
I
I'll
love
let you
these
go.
Messis, and I think it's interesting that we have a really unbelievably soft, quite thin, synthetic style leather through the forefoot of this boot, and then we have a quite soft, quite thin synthetic style leather through this boot, and just having those kind of soft, comfortable elements along with great traction and amazing comfort just really sets these boots apart. The way that I separate these two boots also comes by that upper material.
Yeah,
And this is the difference. And it's going to come down to personal preference a little bit, but I said this last night on the Football Boot Hour podcast for anybody who watched that. The difference here is that this is incredibly soft, but it is very much just, it's a shape of a boot that's very soft and your foot goes in it.
yeah,
This is a boot that is incredibly soft that becomes the shape of your foot. Like, and I think that's what the difference is. Just the way this hugs your foot is just unbelievable, and it makes the
yeah,
fit better. It makes the boot more comfortable. And my only complaint with this particular boot is that there is a little bit of a weak point in the middle here. I maybe would have liked that to be a little different, but honestly, I'm nitpicking. And I think you know where I'm going with this. Like, for me, these two boots are very similar, but this one takes the win. The
yeah.
Sokito would be my world champion.
I would agree. So I think that yeah, like you said, it definitely molds to your foot better. I have issues with the heel on the F50s just a little bit, especially the
Mm-hmm.
laceless. The My foot slips out of that like it's nothing. But
Yeah.
for the laced versions, I think that there is slight heel slippage on that, which you do not get with the Sokito at all. I think, as a matter of fact, I know we talk about the upper on that a lot, but the heel on the Sokito is so good. I think that's the biggest highlight for me. You could wear that
That's
shoe
so
without
fair.
laces, and it fits all the same. Um, I think it's hard coming into it because you want to pick Adidas, just because of the brand and the history and everything, and you feel like Sokito versus Adidas, it's got to be Adidas always. But if you look past that, I think Sokito have developed a shoe that is it's so unfortunate because I think if more people tried it, if they had the marketing machine of Adidas and Nike, I mean, this would probably be the shoe of the freaking century. I think
Yeah.
that people would be talking about this for years. I think that this would be a real collectible. Like this shoe would, you know what I'm trying to say. For me, it's got to be Sokito. Like it's one of those shoes where if they had more colorways, I would have every single one of the colorways. Like I would go out of my way. I would overdraw my checking account just to get one of these shoes. So it's got to be Sokito for me.
Yeah, I think the heel is a great shout on that. Something that I've said before is that this boot feels like it was made by people who love football boots. It was made
Yes.
by people who understand football
Yeah.
boots, which means a lot. And I very rarely buy multiple colorways of one boot,
Yeah.
at least not to keep, because I can't afford to because I review so many boots.
Yeah.
I just ordered another pair of these. So like, and I think with you saying them being collectible, I think in 5 years' time, people will be looking back, being like, "Oh, I wish I got the launch colorway of the Sokito.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
wish I picked up that first Scudetta." I think that's fairly definitive, and I think that means that if I can do this, this is going to look a little janky because
As big as
that didn't
possible.
go as that didn't go as well as I wanted it to.
We
But
get the
hold on,
point.
hold on. I can fix this. I can fix this. There we go. There we go. That's it. That's our
Hey,
tournament winner.
two things real quick. One, after this video, I'm gonna go buy the whiteout colorway because I'm very excited now. And two, Sokito, you need to pay us for the amount of advertising we just did for you guys. But not for real.
Yeah.
Props to Sokito. They excellent shoe, excellent company. The morals of the company as well, I think, are very good. Like you
How
said,
have
with
we
the
not even spoken
recyclable.
about that really yet? Like
Yeah,
that should have been enough just to put them over the Adidas anyway. It was close, and then being
for
like
some
they're
people
based
at
on
least.
bio-based
Yeah,
materials. They act in a more morally ethical way. They have a recycling program. Like that's enough to push it over when it's tight
yeah,
anyway. Like psh,
yeah.
this is a win in 90 minutes. It was tight, but it's a
For
win in 90 minutes.
Yeah, and for people like me who don't necessarily, I'm not saying that I don't care about that or I don't care about the earth or anything like that, but that's not my first thing when I'm, buying a shoe. The first thing is comfort and how it feels, and it fits perfectly for me, for somebody like me, and then maybe for somebody like you or somebody that's watching that does care about, the protecting the environment and all of that stuff that kind of goes into the vegan stuff with the shoe, like all that stuff that goes into it. That's great as well. So just a perfect shoe, perfect company. A plus.
A+. There you have it. There's your winner. Let us know your brackets down in the comments. What would you have picked? You can do a whole round if you like, a whole bracket. Let us know what you'd have picked in each round, or let us know just what your winner would have been. Would you have knocked out one of our big finalists early? Do you agree with Mark? Would you have put through
Probably
the
not.
GX2 all the way through to the final? Do you feel there was an element of FIFA-esque corruption in the quarterfinals there from me? But that's it. We are done. Please let us know what you think. Like the video. Get subscribed to Boot Wizard. Head over to Mark's channel at GCFC Training. I will leave a link down in the top pinned comment, and check out his content as well. Some incredible training videos that I use myself. Mark, it has been a pleasure, sir, and I hope we can do this again soon. I know we have some more ideas, so I would like to definitely hook up with you again and get this done.
Yes, sir. Hey, Boot of the Year video is coming. That's going to be a good
Boot of the
one.
year. Woohoo! Let's do it. That is it, everybody. We will see you soon.